Hi, I posted something on the Facebook group yesterday about how I bid jobs and how to make it completely foolproof so you too can do perfect bidding. So this is an Excel program. I can easily send it to you. It's very easy. So a few things. We have to know all our numbers, right? So I just made these names up. These aren't my crew people's names. And then they're yearly. Okay, so this yearly for me is workman's comp and my payroll responsibilities. So I've added all those numbers up, and you too can find that. So like here, these are like all my, I don't know if you can see that, but all my percentages for workman's comp and my payroll responsibilities. So my payroll is 2%, and then my comps are like for my drywall people is 15.3, right, percent. So you have to know all your numbers. Most important thing. If you don't know your numbers, this is not going to work, and you probably shouldn't even be in business. So, all right. So I've left this blank. So let's work through it. So Bob here. All right. So total project, budgeted actual. So let's just say we're trying to bid a job, and I think it's going to be $1,000. Right, so I think it's going to be $1,000. Oh, we have 100% $1,000. So I think it's going to take one person 1 day to do. So Bob here, I've broken it down. This is how much he gets a year, weekly, daily, blah, 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 hourly if it's a half a job. So if I'm like a day and a half, I can break things down because I'm a 9-hour day work week or work day. But let's just say I think it'll take one guy 1 day to do, or Bob to do one day. So he's going to be $223.56. These are other workers. So my particular guys work one guy, one van. That's how I structure things. So, but if you have multiple people on a job, totally fine. Throw in Tucker there, right? So he's $210.14. So that's two people for one single day. If I needed Bob for 2 days, just multiply that by 2 and throw that number in there. And that way I'm bidding Bob there for 2 days. But for me, for this math, we're just going to say one person, one technician, 1 day. So then these are the technicians. Macy here is the office, right? So her burden is divided by 4 because we have 4 technicians. So her pay, she gets this much a day, but it's divided by 4 technicians. So if you have multiple teams that have multiple sites, you can do that. So that's to scale. So you grow your business to scale. And I mean, not that I'm to scale, I'm only 4 people, but my overhead burden is lessened. Beautiful. And again, I will send you this Excel, totally free. You know, I'm just here to help. So $53 is what she needs. Each technician needs to make just to pay her salary. So all 4 technicians have to make $53.01 to pay for the office. For myself, right, we have it broken down here. So each technician has to make this much amount just to pay for me and my experience, my existence. So that we'll add that in because we have 1 technician. What was it? 34. Okay. So then material, so this material might be much different on yours depending on what you do. Let's say you do a larger job and you need multiple line items, tile, electrical, flooring, you need all this. So just expand this so it's much bigger, so it's like 2 pages. It doesn't matter. But for me, I have it here because my material is so small. I mean, we're $20 a job, and generally that's my go-to, just to throw 20 bucks in there, because I do drywall repair. So a sheet of drywall is 13 bucks, right? And we'll use a piece of that drywall for a repair. We'll use a half bag of mud, a quarter bucket of topping or something, something stupid like that. So it's all just pennies. So I just throw 20 bucks in there unless I look at the job I'm looking at and I think to myself, that's going to need 5 sheets of drywall and 3 buckets of mud and 5 things of quickset. Then I can just write down on a piece of paper, all right, I know drywall is about 13 bucks each. I just round up to 15. All material I take a small cut on, and honestly I think you should too. So for me, drywall, I just round up to 15 bucks a sheet. So that gives me like a $1 profit maybe with after tax and stuff. My quickset mud's about 10 bucks, even though it's 8 something a bag. So you have to know all your numbers. So if it were a big job, for me a big job, and I need 5 sheets of, whatever, I would just work all that up, and then I would just type all that in there. But for you, maybe break it down. Drywall, mud, topping, quickset, corner bead, break all those line items down so you can see I'm using $5 worth of corner bead. I'm using $13.32 worth of all-purpose mud, right? If you want, real easy. Vehicle gas, this one's important. For us, we drive all over the place. I do use CNG gas, much, much cheaper. I pay about $1.90 a gallon for that. It's beautiful stuff. I just put in here notes, right? This particular job, Bob the builder's job, drove 34 miles today, and I know my vehicles get about 14 miles a gallon, so it's that much gallon. So then just do that math and throw it in there. So I'm just we'll just say $6. $6. I'm not gonna do that math. Building, this is our location, so hopefully you're out of your house and you're in an actual building. But if you're in your own house, honestly, use a portion of your mortgage or rent to put in here, because if you're using it, you're using it. So we pay $1,600 for a building, and I break it down into 5 days because we only work 5 days a week. So that's what we pay a month. That's divided by 52 or whatever weeks, and then that number is divided by 5 because I only work 5 days. The other 2 I don't work. So why would I care if I made money those days? Again, that's burdens divided by 4. So that's $18.46. Same with my phone usage, because we have several phones. That's $2.51. Marketing, we do lots of marketing. Probably could do more. It's that much, again, divided by 4. And these are actually pretty close to my real numbers. Liability insurance, got to have that good stuff. $1.84 a person. We don't have much risk, so our liability insurance is super, super cheap because we just do tiny, tiny, tiny jobs. Auto insurance, obviously you have to have that crap. Aramark, these are our uniforms. We actually did just cancel Aramark. We bought in-house uniforms so we can launder in-house, so I could save that much money a year, and it'll pay for itself in about a year and a half. I'll start recuperating that investment I did. Jobber, this is our CRM. If you don't have a CRM, immediately sign up for one. It's $100 to $300 a month, worth every penny. Do it today if you're a real business. If you're just when I say handyman, I mean somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. So if I don't like handyman. Jobber, so this costs us $1.50 a day per guy. Planned vehicle maintenance. I just threw this one in here because obviously we need oil changes, we need tires, we need, things break down. So I just threw that in there. I'm just trying to whittle the number down even further to make sure I don't miss anything. Gas, electrical for the building, and then credit card fees. We're about 2.2% for credit card fees, and add there if you want. So let's just break this down here. Bob takes 1 day to do it, one single technician on that job site. And for me, I have added every single thing that is going to come out of my pocket or the business's pocket to pay for Bob. So I know that if I bid this at $1,000, I would make this much money, which is 55%. That gross margin, I don't know about that one. If that's the right term, I don't know. But that's just what I put there. So for me, all I care about, so like Tom talks about the 50%, I don't know where he gets that number, and so I just don't understand it. I'm a total idiot, so it's totally my issue that I don't understand it, and I understand that. So, but all I care about is how much stays in my bank account after everything. That includes, so I have a business account, which you should too, and I have a personal account. My personal account is my money for my life, and I'm just an employee here. My business account, or the business account, is its own human, its own entity, and the business, you don't touch that money unless you want to make a draw or something. But at the end of the day, all I care about is I know I'm going to get my money, my personal money, because I get a paycheck. So, who cares, right? But the business account, I have to protect that. So that's all I care about. All I care about is what is left in my business account at the end of a job. So whatever you call that, that's what's important to me. So for this job, we're at 55%. I know that much would be left in my business account after this job. But now you're thinking to yourself, I think that might be too much. That may be too much profit, or there's these other factors. So let's lower this price. Let's say $700 or $500. So if I bid this job at $500, I know in my business account at the end of the day, I would have $47 in my business account. So now what number does this want to be? I don't know. Like, ask somebody else that. I know that I want to be at like 37-ish, 36%. Our goal is about this a day per guy, so that puts me at this number. 37% in the business account at the end of the day. That's what I want. So, and as we scale, because my company, we're in 2 states now. My goal is to be in 30 states. So as each state we get more overhead, I guess. But let's just talk about the one state. As I were to grow this state, this number would be divided by 5, by 6, by 7. Granted, we didn't have more overhead. Well, it doesn't matter, even if we have more overhead, but we can divide it. So then that's true scale. That's how these big, massive businesses have basically no overhead, because they just are at scale, which is very cool. So as you scale your job or your business, a lot of these stupid building fees and everything, it almost becomes a joke, because they're just pennies to pay, because a technician would have to make $5 to pay for a huge bill, because there's just 100 technicians. So anyway, this is how I break it down. I went on a little rant there, but very, very easy. The most important things is you must know your numbers. So how much do you pay your employee? How much is their workman's comp? How much is your payroll responsibility? If you sub, I don't care. If you sub, whatever, just throw those numbers in there, but you have to know your numbers. You have to know them. How much is material, right? Log on to homedepot.com if you don't know what material is, or whatever you buy your stuff from. You have to know your insurances, all your bills. You have to know them. If you don't know them, probably close up shop. Or learn them, my wife says. And anyway, I mean, it's very simple, and I can help you with that. Let's just say you're like, I don't know my numbers. Email me or call me or whatever, and I'll walk you through it. It's so super easy. It's super easy. But if you know your numbers and then write them all over here, super easy. Then you just transplant them to here, and then you can play with jobs. I'm looking at a job. I think I want to bid it at $20,000. And then you work your numbers out, and then you're left with whatever profit. And then you feel good about going into that job site, because you know if you complete the job in the amount of time you put on here, you're going to make money. Very easy, very cool. Love this group, and that's where we're at. All right, good day.